It's our to Shabuzet. Happy Youth Day. Happy June 16. We are Ivova Talk. I am your boy Kabavovo, aka Vavelishe. The big G at Kupela. It is the 16th. This day have came, the day of Youth Day. And like I said, on this day we'll be out and about. As we are on our way out now, we're leaving what you call the Big G Production Studios. We're going out on the streets and going out there. We're gonna catch up with you as we're going along the streets and where we're gonna finally end up and finalize the show of today. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna push you. It's gonna make you understand and be fired and be more strong about what this day is about. We do it in a responsible way, and we've overtalked. As you can see, sanitizer, mask, so sharp. We are safe because we are still going under the third wave of COVID. As we had yesterday, the president put us on what you call adjusted level 3. So let us be safe. Whatever events, whatever happening, Bafetu, let us keep it safe because this thing is real and it's killing us. But as a youth, we don't want to be killed with this thing. When our dreams, our future, to go on and go forward. Amandla Bafetu, we are out as Ivova Talk. It's Bafetu Shabuzet. This is your boy once again, Kabavovo, aka Ivovelish, the big jet Kupela. It is the 16th of June 2021. This is the day we will remember what happened in 1976. If you do not know, let us put you into speed. There are kids, school kids that died. They died because of their rights. They died because of what they felt and they believe it's right. They were speaking out their feelings, their emotions, their rights, their personal independence. They showed it out, Today on the show, as Ivova Talk, on the June 16th show, we're talking about talk out, speak out. This is the title of what you're talking about. I don't know what is it that you're struggling with, the problem and the challenge that we're facing in these days is that people are dying with the things that they're not comfortable with. People are not saying, because of what of being scared. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. We are busy fighting for the land and we are busy saying bring back the land and all those things. Yes, we are going to get the land back. Make no mistake about that. The struggle and the way that we're pushing for it, we are going to get back. But what about our youngsters? The thing is, by the time that we get the land back, our youngsters will be, we as fighters, fighting for our land, we might be gone that time. But the thing is, what are we grooming? What are we teaching our youth? As it's a youth day today, let us push. Let us teach our kids. Let us teach our youngsters to be able to stand for themselves, to understand what this day means, to understand what the struggle means, to understand that they don't have to be silent. Like these days, you hear of the kids or people talking sebebadala ukuthi they were raped, and all those things like that. They were molested because of what we have as a society. We have embraced a culture of being silent, but let us on this day, as we're remembering the guys that died, remember the sense that and embrace the fact that we need to speak out. We need to speak out. We need to speak out. We need to speak out, and we need to teach our youngsters to speak out. We need to train them. We need to get them ready that when we get the land back, when we get all the things that we're fighting for, when we get the liberation, when we get the full freedom, they are ready to run with these things. But how are they going to do? What are they going to do with these kids if we are not training them? What are you doing as a grown-up? What are you doing in your community to train young kids, to make a difference, here's the thing, you know what you know because you are trained. Somebody dedicated their time. Somebody, imparted the information and their resources. They paid it forward to you. But what are you doing? we're coming live in Lone Hill. We had to do this thing in the Babs, and just to show you, we as if of a talk, we're going around the world and say to the youth, because here's the thing, the youth of Elokshini, they are struggling, already they are, used to struggling. But these young kids in the Babes, they don't understand, what happened on this day. To them, this day is just a holiday. So we decided to come here and talk about this and make sure that these kids understand what happened on this day, to change their mentality, to change their mindset, to say that, okay, fine, you might be in the Babes, you might not have experience the struggle that kids or fellow young mates are experiencing Ekasi or Elokshini. But we know you're having it easy in the Babes, or Upilam offer and all those things. But what happened on this day? Do you even understand? So this is what we're saying today, that speak out, speak out, speak out. We're going to talk to a couple of people and hear what they have to say about this day. And I'm going to be back and we're going to wrap up the show. It's our faith to Shabuzet, still your boy Kabavovo, aka Vavelisha, the picture at Kupela. We are live in Lone Hill. We are speaking to Tabang. How old are you, Tabang?
I'm 13.
You're 13. Okay. What do you understand of what is the day today?
It is the 16th of June.
What do you know about it?
It is Youth Day.
And then what happened?
It's where a protest had happened for people to stop being educated in Afrikaans, to stop being educated in Afrikaans in all their subjects.
Okay. And then what is your feel about that? What did that teach you? Are you happy about that? Are you unhappy about that? What's your feelings about that?
I'm happy about that because it's for people to understand. It helps people understand their subjects, so it can help them exceed in life.
Okay. So what is the lesson that you have learned out of that?
To fight for what you believe in, because they believed that how they were being taught was wrong.
Okay, today is June 16 on Nivo Talk. We're talking about speaking out, speaking your feelings, speaking your emotions, speaking out about whatever that is troubling you. Do you struggle with that, or do you find that easy for you?
I find it easy for me, but then for others I understand it might not be that easy.
What makes it easy for you? We are 13, right? Mm-hmm. And then the young fellows at your age, they are struggling with that. What will you say to them? How can you help them to be able to deal with that, to be able to speak out? Because the thing is, kids are struggling with whatever things, but they poking it inside, and then it's affecting them even with their studies, with everything. But then as you have mastered this thing, what can you help them? What can you say to them?
I would give them a bit of hope by telling them to not give up, to go to the root of what's happening to them, to fight and continue and don't give up.
Okay, the last question. What happened in 1976? Do you think have made a difference in how you're living today or not?
I do, because now people would understand that children aren't gonna, like, if you push them around, or if they see something as not fitting, they understand now that they have the ability to fight, and then they'll also show what they believe in, if it's wrong or not.
Okay. There you had it from 13-year-old Tabang telling you about how he feels about today. We're gonna, move around and get someone else that we can speak to. Thanks, Tabang. Sure. Okay, now we are joined by Utabo, but then he's a bit shy to show himself on the footage on the camera. But we're gonna ask him a few questions. How old are you, Tabo?
I'm 20 years old.
20 years old. So what does this day mean to you?
Youth Day. Today we remember the sacrifices that the youth of 1976 did. They sacrificed a lot for future youth of South Africa. So today, we remember their sacrifices.
Their sacrifices. Okay. I like the fact that you mentioned the word sacrifice. Sacrifice is a very strong and a powerful word. What does it mean to you, being 20 years old, living in South Africa today, for the fact that there's a sacrifice that was done for you?
It means that
there's no wrong or right answer. You say what you feel. You say what when you look, I mean, in the 20 years that you have lived, and then looking at this country, looking and with the understanding of what happened, and what do you feel about it? As you mentioned the word sacrifice, what does that sacrifice mean to you personally, and what have it done for you, and what is it continuing doing for you?
The sacrifices of the youth of 1976 really opened the way for the youth of today, changed the way the education system works. So like back then they forced the people, the blacks, to learn every subject in Afrikaans. So today we don't have that. You choose to learn in your home language or Afrikaans or English. And so for the future youth of the next generation, the youth of today has to pave a way forward to better the future for the youth of the next generation.
Cool. And then tell me, we're talking about speaking out, because we as if of a talk on this day, we understand that the youth of 1976, they were speaking out their feelings, their actions, what they were doing. They were speaking out to say that we are against this thing, we're not going to tolerate this thing. How do you feel about speaking out, and have you mastered this thing of speaking out, or you're struggling with it? If you are struggling with it, what is causing you to struggle? If you've mastered it, how have you mastered it?
I haven't quite mastered the action of speaking out yet, but as the youth of today, I think we could try to stand together and fight against the employment rate. The unemployment rate is really high right now, so the youth of today isn't getting that much job opportunities, so we can come together and speak out against the unemployment rate.
Okay, the last question that I'm going to ask you, Tawa, and I'm going to let you go. The land. You've heard about the struggle and the thing of bring back the land and all those things. What is your understanding about it?
My understanding of the land is that back then when the colonizers came to South Africa and African countries, they came and they forced themselves onto our African land, which then they forced us out to the bad parts of the land that doesn't have so many minerals and stuff like that. So they forced us out, they took the good land, and now it's still till today they own that land. So we're trying to get some of the land back at least, so we can try to solve this inequality between the blacks and the whites.
Okay, cool. So being on the issue, as I'm closing the question of the land, is that as you're 20 years old now, if as the black movement, as the black South Africans, if the struggle of bring back the land, we will wake up tomorrow and we have succeeded and we have got the land back. Are you ready for the land back?
Yeah, I'm ready to get the land back. I'm sure most black people are prepared to have the land back. They know what to do with the land and how to improve the economy of South Africa if they have the power of the land.
Personally, what would you do if you've got the land? Let's say now we've got the land back, and then now you have, let's say, you've been assigned maybe 1 acre of the land, 1 hectare of the land. What do you do with it?
I'll obviously try to get some farming going on there, maybe plant some fruits, some something that can contribute to the economy of South Africa.
Do you do the gardening at home?
Yes, sometimes.
Sometimes, but you know how to do the gardening.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool. Tabo, thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate it, even though you didn't want it to show your face on the camera. But thank you so much for your views, and I hope this day will continue to empower you as you growing up and in your 20s, as your age that you're in now is very, very powerful. Keep pushing and keep strong and keep going forward. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, cool. We've heard it from Tabo, the 20-year-old, and now we're going to speak to Mambo, aka Scavenger. You guys all know him as the film director of Viva Talk. We are out with him and about today, so he's going to show his face because he always run away and being, behind the scenes. But today we're putting him on the scenes. Scavenger, how's it?
I'm good.
Look at the camera, bro. I mean, you see, you're always holding this thing. Now you can't look at. You don't want to look at it. Okay. Today is the 16th of June, 2021. What does it mean to you?
It means a lot, It's the day we celebrate what happened back in the past.
What happened?
The children that died fighting for, freedom of education, of how we learn today. So we celebrate that and we are thankful of that.
So you're saying we celebrate it. Do you personally celebrate this day?
Yeah, I personally celebrate this day.
And why?
Because I understand what happened. So that to me motivates me to actually, become thankful.
You are 16 now, right?
Yeah.
And then being a 16-year-old and living and being active in 2021, and with the understanding of what happened in 1976, what changes or what improvement have it done in your life?
I mean, I can actually learn in English now, so I can understand, because if I was learning in Afrikaans, I wouldn't understand anything. So then I wouldn't be in the grade that I am. I wouldn't be who I am today. So I wouldn't, be approved to go to the next grade or whatever, because I would be failing.
Okay. How is schooling for you right now, at the moment?
It's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah.
What's so nice about it?
Because I can, I understand, first of all, and I have the freedom of choice.
Wow, freedom of choice. You heard that, Buffett, freedom of choice. What is that? You see now, you've touched something that is very deep and dope, What is freedom of choice?
It's choosing your own educational system and how you want to learn things. Because at the end of the day, you can't learn something in somebody else's way, because that's not guaranteed for you to actually learn. But if you learn it your way, then it's better, because you will understand your own message.
So you're saying choosing. How do you come to a point of choosing? How do you come to a point to say this is the right choice? How do you make that decision as a 16-year-old?
By looking at it if it's going to benefit you or not. And if it benefits you, it has to benefit you in a good way. If it benefits you in a negative way, then you know that it's wrong.
How do you know that it's going to benefit you?
Because if it changes something in your life to better, then...
So basically, with your choice, you're basically speaking out your
own opinions.
This thing of speaking out, are you okay with it? Are you struggling with it? Where are you sitting? Because as you know, today as a film director of the show, as you know, today we're out and about and talking about speaking out on this day, because the youth of 1976 were speaking out their feelings and their emotions. Where are you?
I'm struggling with speaking out.
What makes you struggle?
Because I doubt that anything's gonna change, but we still do it and hope that things are gonna change.
You doubt that anything is going to change?
Yeah. That's my personal opinion.
Good. Fair enough. Like I said, there's no wrong or what you call right answer. But what influenced your understanding of nothing is going to change?
Besides that, we did it and things changed today. It's the fact that there's still some problems, but then the way people look at it is that you all got your freedom of choice, now you want more, so they won't listen. Because we supposedly young and we too young to understand anything. So then,
Okay, let's wrap up this thing. Do you wanna have kids when you old?
yeah.
Boy or girls?
A girl most preferably, and then if I choose to have two, a boy and a girl.
Why specifically girl?
It's a girl.
Just like every, okay. What is, I mean, being 16, you know, and obviously now you have that thought of having a baby daughter or, a baby girl. What is the first thing in your mind that, with your experience of life and what we're talking about today, what is the first thing that if you were having, let's say now you're at the age of having that daughter, what is the first thing that you will teach that daughter and why?
To be herself, because she'll outstand and be different from anything else in the world if she's herself, because everybody's different. And involvedly, like being herself, that will mean like speaking out her own opinion and her own thoughts. So
Wow. Thanks, Scavenger. Bafetsu, you've had it. You know, as we're wrapping up this thing, there's something that I came across to say. There's something in all these youngsters that have said today. There's something that what you call Scavenger just said now, to say that it's not going to make any difference, you know. So I think that's the issue that we still facing in our community, in our society, as a community, as a country. I think that's the thing that we need to address in terms of this speaking out, because it's not only the youngsters, even the adults, even the grown-up are struggling with this thing, because they have this feeling of saying, I can speak out, I can do whatever that I do, but is it going to change anything? So here's the question I want to ask you is, what if it does? You know, what if your voice is a special voice? Because we, as they were saying, all of them, that we are different, we are uniquely designed and all those things. What if your voice is a special one that is going to make a difference? So speak out, don't stop. I'm going to close with this. There's something that I saw recently, to say that they were saying, you know, like when Jesus died, we were celebrating now in Easter. There's on Sunday the Ukvuka, what they call this, Amahlahla, Sunday, Amahlahla. They said, that thing said, even the people that were holding Amahlahla and saying uvugile, 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 is the very same people that were saying crucify him. Do you understand what I'm saying? So here's the thing. If we're not speaking out, and if we're not prepared and we're not ready to speak out as the black people, as the youth, as the youngsters, or as the community, regardless of what age you are, you know, basically what we are saying is, those people that died in 1976, we are saying crucify them, because all that those people were doing, were speaking out their feelings. We're speaking out to say, we're not going to tolerate this thing. We're not going to be bullied. We're not going to be oppressed. We're not going to be abused like this, you know. So what are you doing to go forward and speak forward and, you know, and pay it forward and continue? Because this thing is a race, you know. As I said, that we are running a race now of pushing, of bringing back the land. So now we will finally win that struggle. So now, you know, like what they call this, Tabang, what they call that thing at school when you run and you give someone a stick and they run around. Relay. There we go. Relay. This thing is a relay, Bafetsu. Life is a relay, you know. Our parents, they went through apartheid, they went through struggle. they were abused, to understand, to give us better education. We can speak English today, we can stay in the suburbs today just because of the sacrifices that they did, you know. So we also have our kids now, we understand where we're coming from, we understand the situation, so we're fighting for the land, we're fighting for the good things. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna give this stick to our kids as a relay to push it forward. But how are they gonna push it forward if we don't teach them to speak out, if we don't train them and groom them enough? I am your boy Kabavovo, aka Vovelisha, the Big G at Kupela, coming live in Lone Hill on this day, on the 16th of June. That was it for talk for today, Buffet. I hope Nimnandi and Grandi, wherever you are, you showed visibility and then you showed yourself a mandla, my comrade. Let us continue fighting for the struggle, fighting for speaking out, and make sure that this day always being remembered in our kids' life, in our lives, in the future. And these people, what they died for, they never died in vain. Your son going out all the time. I will see you on Sunday when we're celebrating the Father's Day. Do check us out. Hola, Shabafit.